All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Also, I want to give double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us His truth and peace and love to the Lord's hopeful elect. Back at it through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, with another spiritual observation. So, Big U. I mean, I don't know the guy too well. I just see him on social media platforms here within the last, about 5 years. He really blew up, but I guess he's an old gang member from California. But he's been making a lot of money via, the podcast world. But kind of find out, man. I believe he turned himself in yesterday because the feds was looking for him. But the whole point of this epistle is just to say, get ready, because eventually what's happening with these organizations, man, is going to happen to us through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema Shah in relation to persecution. But you see that these organizations, you got this guy Big U and everyone who he's attached to, then you had the Young Thug case that was going on. You got your boy, what's that guy name? What's his name? Ugly. Pee Wee Longway. And, from this area that I'm at, huge bus, man. We're just, they're taking guys by the truckload that are a part of these organizations. Now, are the organizations that they're a part of, are they wicked and rooted in wickedness? Absolutely. So there's not a whole lot of sympathy, for the Lord doing these things, these gang members and, all the real deal racketeering type of shit that they be into, man. It's true. They are involved in, the drug trade, and they are involved in all manners of heinous crimes, man. So that's the spirit that's going out here today. But what it does show you is that they're watching. All right, and it's not hard, especially if you get on social media. You're doing the Fed's job for them when you get on social media, these podcasts, or you tweet or whatever the hell they do now, or DM or whatever the hell they do. You get on the internet and post these things and brag about these things. It's all coming out, especially the podcast world. But it shows you that they're watching, man. All right, they know who you are, who you're affiliated with, and what you have going on. Same thing with the prophets of Yahweh Shem Shah. They know who the prophets are. They know where they stay, and they know who listens to them and who follows them. So that's all in relation to the coming persecution. But we see what's going on here, man. So if they're watching them, of course that they're watching us, man. All right, and they're just waiting for the Lord to put the Spirit upon them to move on us, because we do see, like, with all this whole racketeering RICO type of shit going on, it seems like they're going to get everybody a part of any organization that they don't agree with, man. And eventually it'll trickle down to the so-called hate groups, man. There are actually hate groups out there, man, but it's gonna involve everybody here pretty soon, man. You're part of some organization that's against the establishment, then they're gonna persecute you, man. Especially, 10 times more for the name Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. But if you're a so-called believer, they'll persecute you as well. But they really want the true prophets of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. And this whole RICO case culture is a precursor to it, man. It's like judgment is going out. It's like Lord he's taking, mass groups of individuals off of the streets, man. And eventually we'll be next, because the Lord, he taught us these things, when we come to serve him, prepare for temptation. All right. But we'll start this real quick, like the book of Luke 12 and verse 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be unknown, or that shall not be known. So starting with this truth, us waking up to who we are, who the wicked nation is, who the heathen nations are. All right. Learning the name Yahweh Bahashem Shah. These are things that have been hidden unto us, but it has been revealed. So the Lord is not a man that he shall lie. This is coming to pass. And as well as, the deep down dirty secrets of people is coming to the light. That's why you hear all these things coming out, man, different ways, man. But the Lord is putting a spirit upon things to come out, even in the podcast, where I watch a lot of it. And there's a lot of stuff going on with Eve, a lot of sexual immorality. But we already know how it goes, man, with Eve. Period. Let alone the industry. But there's some women that you may not thought to be whores, and actually find out that they've been whoring in that industry, man. The only reason that it's coming out is because of Luke 12:2. For there's nothing covered that shall not be revealed. So all you whores out there that's been whores and been kind of skating under the radar, they're gonna tell it. The guys that you slept with, they're getting ready to tell it. They're finna tell it all, man. And that's just really, it isn't like they're snitching or they're breaking the guy code. Is that things that have been hidden are brought to the light. Just like with these wicked organizations, I'm using the word organization, these wicked gangs, man. All right, it's being, their wickedness is being revealed and brought to the light, and judgment is going out, man. All right, we're sick and tired of you gang member ass niggas, man, because I mean, what does it produce? Come on, man. You get together in your organization for righteousness, man, and that's likened unto the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah, the servants of Yahweh Shema Shah. There's your tribe, there's your camp right there. But being a part of these wicked ass organizations, man, it ain't it. And the Lord is exposing this, man. He's exposing the wickedness, because there's a lot of murder, death and destruction that's behind these gangs, man. And they're all tied to paganism. So the Lord is bringing forth on these things, man, to be brought to the light. You guys have been making all this money. Now it's starting to come out how you really been getting all your money. Yeah, I mean, they ain't arrested that guy for nothing. He was involved in some other shit besides some podcast shit, obviously, man. Drugs, extortion, murder, all these things are very, very high on the agenda for a lot of these gangs, man. All right. And again, the Lord is bringing these things to the light. He's bringing forth these guys' wickedness, man. Whether the Lord locks them up, takes them off this earth or not, it's still being shown that, hey, you're not just finna be a part of these organizations, these gangs, and get away with it. Come on, man. You think that the government, if we know there's Edomites, okay, that do these documentaries, man, type shit on let's say Chicago, the Chicago violence. They know every street, every gang, the history. They got pictures and things, and they're not even the feds, man. All right, these are just guys that are just obsessed with our culture, our people. And they're able to find all this information, and it's very, very thorough, to the point where it's actually mind-blowing, some of the information that these podcasters or influencers come up with when they do these documentaries or whatever. How much more the motherfucking government, all right? If you think they're not watching, you're crazy. If you think that they're not aware of these songs that Jake make, taunting the dead, if you think they're unaware, you're absolutely crazy. They see you idiots out there with all those guns, man. They're aware of the violence, but it's ultimately the spirit of the Lord, that allows it to go to a certain level, man. But they definitely are where they know where you're at, and they're just ready to strike. Obviously, man, when they do these things, they say a lot of times they're in multiple locations and they attack simultaneously, man. All right, they be at probably like 15 different guys' houses, and they'll all strike you at the same time, 3 o'clock in the morning type shit. So obviously they've been knowing where you at. They done set up a plan and everything, man, and then executed that plan and really got y'all. Why, he was a regular day, Biggie, you thought it was gonna be, or a regular day, Young Thug thought it was gonna be, man. R. Kelly, P. Diddy, look at all this shit that's going on, man. The Lord is bringing, especially R. Kelly, man, very talented brother, man, when it comes to singing, man. I was talking to my little friend, and she was telling me about all the songs that R. Kelly wrote, let alone performed and shit like that. But he wrote a lot of songs that I didn't even know, man. That guy he could really get down on that mic, man. But hey, the Lord saw fit to reveal his wickedness, and he's in captivity, within a captivity to this very day. All right, so that's just all these things coming to the light. But what you do see is the boys going first. The Lord said he was going to start that judgment at his house, and that's why we are leading the way via the prisons in the grave, man. The men of the nation of Israel, you so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans, we lead the way. Is because the Lord has started, with this order: the man, the woman, the child of the nation of Israel. Yahweh Shai, the man, the woman, the child. That's why you see groups of individuals, getting snatched up. Eve is gonna get her shit next. Eve is really heavy into the scamming culture. A lot of our wicked women are involved involved in all manners of, financial scams and schemes and stealing and shit like that. Eventually the Lord is going to bust that shit up and bring that shit to the light. Or a lot of women like to, be whores and things like that. The Lord is getting ready to expose that and bring it to the light as well. But hey, it starts with the men. That's why it's happening. But we just got to prepare our minds, our hearts to get ready to go through what we're getting ready to go through. Because again, if they're watching them and they see them via the internet, it doesn't really take much nowadays, man, because we have these devices and we broadcast ourselves. YouTube's motto: broadcast yourself, to the world. So it really isn't. They don't really have to have top tier surveillance on us and things like that. We do it ourselves, man. Let alone a little effort if they really did want to uh you know s- uh uh, watch us. You know what I mean? But we just gotta prepare our minds, man, because it's gonna happen, man. But again, the Lord had prepared us, and taught us the things that we needed to be able to navigate out here in these last days when that persecution does come. The servant is not greater than his master. So if they hated Yahweh Shah, they're definitely going to hate us. And we haven't even seen the full manifestation of that yet. But we need to prepare, because I'm serious through the spirit, about this. They're snatching everybody up, bro. Eventually, especially our people, they're snatching these guys up, man. They know what's going on. It's a blessing, because they do got a lot of wickedness going on within them gangs, man. They're terrorizing cities and shit like that. You can't go nowhere. Everywhere you got all these YNs posted up, wherever they at, with all these big ass guns, or a gun hanging out their pocket. Is ridiculous, man. They're around here terrorizing people. They are real terrorists. The gangs are real terrorists. But guess what, man? They can be the most notorious blood crip, whatever the hell, out here. Guess what? A man of Yahweh Shema Shah gonna be looked at just like him, man, as if he was a member of a gang, man. That's how they gonna deem us terrorists too, right along with those guys, man. They'll categorize us right along with them and seek to eradicate all of us, man. So we have to prepare for this, man, and hope that the Lord be with us, man. All right, we go to the book of 2 Corinthians. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. That's beautiful. And as part of being a watchman, or hearkening unto the watchman, that we're not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of them watching us and being aware. From the apostles and elders on down, they always say that, count the cost, and they're agents out here, etc. And they're just people that just watch, on the videos and things like that, or see us out on the highways and byways, man, and relay that, um you know so we're not ignorant of that. All right, people are watching us. All right, and eventually it's gonna lead to us being persecuted, man. Right now, those guys are being persecuted. Honestly, honestly, it's a righteous persecution, but they're being persecuted for wickedness. But it's righteous. The Lord snatching up all these guys. They've been receiving benefits and have not known Yahweh Shema Shah. So it is a beautiful thing to watch the Lord judge our wicked brothers and sisters, because we're, to the best of our ability, trying to serve Yahweh Shema Shah, before it's too late. And then we see all these people of our nation, our own brothers and sisters, that, are prospering, man, and have not known Yahweh Shema Shah. All these rappers, these entertainers, man, these housewives and shit like that, man. All right, they got a lot going on and have not known the Lord, man. Have not known the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. So it's a beautiful thing to watch that. And we got to remember, we up next, man. It's just a matter of time before it trickles down to us, man. And you know how it goes. If a the historical accounts of the Lord's apostles and their faith, man, a lot of them had to experience, quote unquote horrific deaths and things for the name of Malak Yahweh Shah. So we just got to prepare, because it's going to get janky. It's going to get real here pretty soon. It's always easier to say than done. It's easier to do these epistles and listen to these epistles than it will be, to actually experience sin. Because I believe, just like other brothers believe, that the Lord is going to be with brothers, and he's going to give us a strong spirit in that day. It's just the initial seeing it is gonna drive a lot of people kind of crazy. When you first see the spirit on a person like that really want to do you harm, or really, has to listen to orders to do you harm and things like that, it's gonna be mind blowing. But once we get over that hump and we see, okay, this is what it is, they hate us for the name Yahweh Shai, then so be it. Then we'll be fine, and the Lord's gonna be with us. He's gonna lift up that standard. But we have to get to that point. But that initial break off is gonna be rough, man. The initial break off, however, we're gonna have to leave our dwelling places if we have to, rejecting that mark of the beast, and that first, until the Lord provides that first miracle, man, it may get a little rough, but we have to have faith. Faith without works is dead. That's why we're rehearsing the righteous acts. That's why we fast now. We pray now. Hey, we be acknowledging the brotherhood, the sisterhood now. All right, and developing that rapport with our brothers and sisters now. So that when we get out here, we know who to trust. You know that you got brothers, sincere sisters that believe in the same thing you believe in, and won't be compromised when the pressure is applied, because a lot of people are going to be compromised, even they of your own household. The Lord taught us that your enemy is going to be they of your own household, man. And the Lord said he came to actually bring that spirit of division, to bring that sword, set a man at variance against his father, a mother against her daughter, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, etc., etc. And we'll see the full height of that during Jacob's trouble, man. All right, a lot of households are going to turn on each other for one reason or another, because of the famine. All right, people gonna be up in there with attitudes. It's gonna cause a lot of domestic violence and such, man. All right, mark of the beast, pestilences. Some people gonna have to get the hell out the house because they're gonna be so sick. Quarantine type of stuff, man. All these things are coming, all right, during this great tribulation, and we gotta remember our power. We need to remember our power now, in hopes that our power will be with us during this time of great tribulation. All right, let me see. Go to the book of Proverbs 14 and verse 30. Oh, let me go. So lock Proverbs 3 and 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Also for the sinners as well, man. Envy not our oppressors, nor our the people of our nation that sin and are prospering, man. Because we do know the end of individuals like this, man. All right, death, destruction, embarrassment. All right, it's coming to these people, man. Starting with Esau Edom, that wicked man. All right, he's puffed up more than anybody, especially the so-called elite. All right, they're puffed up, and we're not supposed to, envy these guys, man, because we know that our kingdom, Lord willing, we partake in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's kingdom. It's an everlasting one. So whatever they got going on now, same thing with our people. They're prospering now. It's going to come to naught. All right, and eventually it's going to fail. But our kingdom, our glory, our beauty, our wealth, all right, our power will be everlasting, and that's something that we all have to meditate on. Now, the Lord did tell us to count, the things that we lose as dung. It's much easier said than done. Don't worry about it. Especially your woman, a child, or a career, something that you just want to do on the earth. It's easier said than done to let those things go, but it's just something we have to meditate on, man. Count it as done, man. And just try to stay in the spirit to the best of your ability by continuing to pray, doing your epistles, taking rebuke, being amongst the brotherhood. All these things help you stay in the spirit, because we're going to need it, because we're not going to be able to attain everything our heart's desires on this side, man. Some of these things aren't expedient unto us, man. All right, lawful. All right, lawful for us to have our wives and things like that, but isn't expedient, man. So we got to wait it out. Every brother want, I'm sure most brothers got at least one or two women, they wouldn't mind, being theirs for all eternity, man. And I'm saying, and righteousness, man. Being beautiful, perfected. Receiving those new bodies. Oh, that's gonna be. Oh man, we need those new bodies, and for damn sure, our women definitely need those new bodies, man. They're all hoard out and things like that. Another topic for another day. But the whole point, man, being just keep your eye on the swivel, because there's a lot of fed feds swiping people the hell up right now, man. It don't really make national news like it do, like other things do, but it's happening a lot, man. And eventually they're starting with, the rappers and the organizations they're affiliated with, but eventually it's just going to trickle down once they get their task force and the testing for these guys, man, to go out and round people up. It'll be like that. Look at what happened with the Northern Kingdom, man. Oh, they done sent them motherfuckers to a special location, as they should, man. A lot of the Northern Kingdom with them face tattoos, MS-13 type of shit they're a part of. They're very, very, very wicked. Very, very demonically possessed, man. So I mean, the Lord got a place for those guys, but eventually the Lord got a place for us as well, man. We just got to remember to meditate on that, count the cost, man. All right. We have to resist unto blood, and we're getting ready to go into the next phase of this, man. The Lord getting ready to test us physically. All right. We're being tested now, and the Lord is chastening us now to get us prepared for the big test. And Lord willing, if we are His, then He wants us to pass the test, because it is to give Him glory. It is to give glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So that's confidence right there, man. We just got to make sure that we are His children, and it's going to be things that we're going to do and things that we're not going to do to show that we are the Lord's children. All right. Just like our high holy days or our holy days come, and we acknowledge that and observe these things, man. We're the only ones really doing that the way that we do it. So Lord willing, Yahweh Shema Shai is with us, man, and we're getting ready to see. But all we got to do is continue to do what we've been doing. If we've been doing right to the best of our ability, continue, to do the work for the men that have to do it. All right, and just try to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, man, and just get out the way. That's all we can do right now is be obedient to the best of our ability and get out the way, because it's finna be danger close, man. It's gonna be judgment happening right around you, man. And it is what it is. We got to stand on that. Lord, keep on bringing these tornadoes and these storms, man. It may get danger close, and you'll see your protection then and there when your neighbor shit is effed up, and yours isn't. It's happening now, man. There's been these little mini tornadoes that have came through, man, and there's a lot of damage being done, and not a whole lot where I lay my head down. The water Yahweh Bahashem Hawashai. That's another testimony for another epistle. But hey, with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashai. Till next time, Shalom.